All right. Hello, YouTube VOD watchers. You're in for a very chill stream, and anybody else just tuning in? Alf, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. Hope you're well this evening. And we had a really good stream earlier today, and apparently I can't get enough chat. So I got a little clipboard. I got a little checklist. I got some things I wanted to do to prep. Some power related, some like AE2 channel related, kind of having to do with the system that I showed off earlier today. I don't know if that was my original. I don't know if anybody else has ever done it like that before. It kind of makes sense to me. We'll go over that today. Just finished food after work day. Hope work was good to you. Hope it was good to you. Oh no, we getting Gregnant up in here. We so Gregnant. You don't even know. I don't know what it is about like a new GTNH update, man. I mean, not even a lot of consequence really changed in the game, but I don't know. Something about it. But yo, Remix, Bobdu, Rexy, Avilia. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. We're gonna have a pretty chill stream. If Kat wants to jump in, I am in TeamSpeak, but I think she's probably chilling, doing her own thing today. Can be listening to this while maybe doing some pack death. Hell yeah! Let's go. What's up, Stardust? Yeah, we'll provide a nice little cozy stream. Ah, look at this rain. Our new build. I'm sorry, chat. I'm still happy about the new build. I'm gonna be looking at it like this for a little while. You know, like I haven't built anything really good lately. And so, I don't know. That feeling when you go like a month or two without building anything good and then you build something like this, like I'm happy. I'm very happy. So we got our little checklist here. So Lightning Spire output. And Rexy, I know you just saw this, but I was posting in Discord about this. Here I was whining about the output of the Lightning Spire. Why not just limit the output of the Lightning Spire? All I have to do is reduce the number of lightning rods inside of it. It scales, so we don't have to worry about like wasting any molten iron anymore or anything like that. So I actually took out. We had 512 in here, which gives you something like 52 million EU per tick, which is just straight up nuts for us right now. We can't even get it out of the machine that quickly. So I went down to 52 lightning rods. Is the music quite loud? Thank you. Yeah, I'm playing something different than usual. It doesn't look loud on my end, but I could see how that would be the case, though. Let me know how that is now. Been back at it. Yo, what's up, Sci-Fighter? Yeah, I can't help myself. What's up, Flexo TV? How's it going? NMK? So this chat, I made a little sign here. So each lightning rod is roughly this amount, 101,000 EU per tick and change. And so if I have 52 in there currently, that's about 5.28 million. And then I kind of want to start measuring this in ZPM amps because that's what we're going to be up transforming to pretty soon. This turns out to be around 640 amps of IV. And so my plan is we already have 5 64 amp dynamo hatches. So that's 320. That's half of it. So I'm going to put another 5 amps or another 5 hatches. And so that should equal about 640 amps of IV, which is about the number our lightning rods are producing. That way we're basically not we're not like using up any stuff. Oh, I should turn that off. Here, I'm gonna refund your redemption there. NMK. Yeah, no, we're mega chilling. No standing tonight. No standing. Let me fix that for you real quick. Let's see, where is it? Toggle Vin standing desk. There we go. Yeah, normally I would do that. I love standing at my standing desk. But yeah, we mega chilling because of the lyrics. Yeah, probably. We don't normally play that stuff like that. If you're on YouTube, you can't hear that, so no worries, YouTube. Work been going good. Time to address some personal projects. Got a few stream tools to work on. Stream tools, interesting. Kind of curious now. So I think I'm gonna redesign this a little bit, and I think what I want to do is I want to do this in like rows of 3. So let me see what I can cook up here. Let's make sure we got flight here. Like the vibe though? Awesome. Oh dude, we're playing a little Steely Dan right now. Love me some Steely Dan. Alright. So here we go. We got our 3 dynamo hatches. And then yeah, what I'm gonna do is hold on, first of all, make sure the machine's not on. No, we're draining energy. Okay, perfect. So let's see if I can get this right. Oh, forgot I had a hole there. Yeah, give me some 16x, right? Give me all this cable right here. Our superconductor is still kind of precious to us, so I kind of want to get that. Ads done. Oh, good. Yeah, I didn't do the normal intro that I normally do, so yeah, you probably did get caught by ads. My apologies. Hopefully it's all good now. And yeah, we're going to use... So this is capable of 192 amps, aka 364 amp dynamo hatches. So we're going to try to do something like this, right? Where we connect all three of these. No explosions, right? We haven't had an explosion yet in this world, chat. At least not from me. I'm not about to start now. Okay. And then let's come down like this with our 16 amp, right? And then we just connect like this. Let me convert this over to the 8X. See, we need one more. Actually, no, I don't. I could do two like this. Yeah. This is such an interesting thing. I'm not used to like power production being solved and then just having power throughput problems. This is very new to me. Feels kind of funny. Let's see. We can use the 8X there, but we can't use it there because we need more. We need 128 amps to travel through this one. So I think if we do something like that, I believe that is good. I think that should be fine. Help friends that are streamers, or they mod team with custom tooling integrations. Wow. Dude, that sounds awesome. That's very nice of you. Offer in-game interactions to custom overlays. You can do so much. I don't know how much you messed with streamer.bot, Alf. But streamer.bot is insane, right? Also, Black Yoshi is insane. Like Yoshi is insane for subscribing for...
I want you to know, Vin, I made it to the moon in GTNH.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Dude, I'm so glad you... I mean, I'm all for you doing different mod packs, right? But it's always good to see you come back on GTNH. So, yo, thank you for 13 months. That's insane. Also, that is not the normal speaker or text-to-speech chat. I don't know what's going on with that. We're not going to get distracted by that right now. Thank you again, Yoshi. Thank you. Tisk. Yeah, what's up, Panda? Currently very slowly working my way towards my first 8 EV circuits. Nice. Yep. Hey, listen, take your time. Don't get overwhelmed. But yeah, I mean, the more batch crafting you can do, obviously, the better. Especially in those early days. Yeah, I think this should be good, chat. So I think I should be able to replicate this. Oh, I need a little bit more Lapatronic supercapacitor casing. Anyway, by the way, chat, we got permission this time. We got permission from Cat. So we're good. No sneaky stream today. Gonna get a personal dimension update to 2.8. Hell yeah. I gotta say, Black Yoshi, like, hopefully it goes well for you. The update to 2.8 for us was, with some minor exceptions, probably the smoothest update we've ever had. Now, we've got some weird TPS spiking issues after the server's been on for like 12 hours, but actually no, the server just restarted, never mind. But yeah, server restart always just fixes that, so and I think they're working on it. Several different potential causes with that. Okay, let's get rid of this. We must take it away before we can give more. All right. And then we'll put two more dynamo hatches, like right here. Got a hot swap. Good old hot swapping. Cat doesn't need to be afraid. It's okay. It's an art form. Many cool bots out there. StreamerBot, Firebot. I'm not familiar with Firebot. Yeah, StreamerBot is just so customizable. It's insane. Sometimes some of the things I want to get done need direct integration with Twitch API, etc. Yeah. I know enough to understand that that's necessary, but beyond that, yeah, I don't know that much. All right, let's put these three 16X down. And then we got to keep going with the 16X. I don't think we quite have enough here. So, see what we can do. Make sure we don't cross these wires too. We're in for a pretty bad time if we end up doing that. Let's see. Yeah, I think we need to recover more cable. So I'm going to get rid of this as well. We're already going to end up with more power here in just a second. More power throughput than we had. So yeah, let me get a little bit more. We can put one there and there. And then we put a 16X right there. Here, there, everywhere. If you're not watching the video, that makes no sense to you. It's okay, don't worry about it. We're just doing a bunch of cabling right now. Can I ask why on earth that multi-thickness cable setup works? I could explain it in a second, how it works. This is kind of not normal. And the reason this seems like this is kind of ridiculous, just because our power production is no longer an issue and it's all about throughput. So we're trying to use as many of these dynamo hatches as possible to extract the energy and get it to the LSC, basically as much as we can as quickly as possible. And so it kind of presents a bit of a unique challenge. Like I said, I'm not used to playing this way when it comes to power. I'm used to just not having enough power, quite honestly, chat. So, all right, there we go. Now we should be able to hook this up. And there we go. Now we have immediately 6 times 64 amps of IV traveling from the lightning spire, our power source, to this. If I wanted to be really cheeky, and you know what? Let's just do it. Basically, I can come over here and I can change this to 8x as well. If you understand amperage and you understand power delivery, you can kind of cut corners like this sometimes with the lower amperage cable. So we only have 64 amps traveling through that at any given time, so 96 is plenty with our 8x superconductor IV. I don't understand how 8x works when next to 16x. Yeah, so for that very reason, because basically by the time the power gets here, we do have a total of 192 amps. When it's here, we have 128 amps because of 2 dynamo hatches, right? When we're here, we just have 64 amps because it's only one 64 amp dynamo hatch, right? So 64, 128, then 192. It continues being 192 all the way down here. Then it's 128 here. Then it's 64 here. And then it's 64 here, just to this last one. And that's because this version of GregTech, not all versions of GregTech are like this, by the way, but this version of GregTech operates under like a power request system. So it's not how much power you're providing, it's how much power is being requested by these energy hatches specifically, which is kind of what dictates it. Yeah, exactly, Rexy. It doesn't work at GT Modern. Yeah, so you got to be very careful. Yeah, don't apply this knowledge to other versions of GregTech necessarily. This is a very GTNH. What version of GregTech is this, chat? GregTech 5 or something like that? I cannot keep the versions of GregTech like straight for the life of me. Work as a software engineer for my day job. No issues dealing with direct API stuff. I bet. Yeah, I bet it's just like, hey, you know, this is like what I do all day. Hey, no problem. I can imagine it being even easier in some cases. GT5U. What's the difference between GT5 and GT5U? See, this is what I'm talking about, chat. Like, I can't. I can't. Black Yoshi says, I think it should be pretty smooth. Gonna unlock everything before I update just in case. Yep. Good call. There's a U. One has a U and the other. Ah, yes. Dataki. Coming in with the epic revelations. Amazing. Hello, Dataki. Yeah, no, we should be good here now. And let's see if we have enough superconductor to do this one more time. So we've already improved our situation. So I'm okay with getting rid of this temporarily. And then we need to... Chat, is the music okay, by the way? Let me know. Should be pretty quiet. Let's get our dynamo hatch back, right? Okay. And then, yeah, we want to do 2 more dynamo hatches right here. Music fine for you? Good, good, thank you. There we go, like that. And like that. Perfect. And then energy hatch can go again, right here. Trying to, again, just because of the nature of these, oh, did I hot swap well enough? I did, okay, good. Just because of the nature of the amperage of ZPM, or sorry, not ZPM, IV. These cables are kind of weird. Sometimes they end up in perfect multiples of 64, and then other times they don't. So superconductor IV is like 40, what is it, 48 and then 96. They're kind of weird numbers. LUV superconductor is really nice, chat, because a 4x is 64 amps. That's beautiful. What a beautiful number. And then 8x is 128, 12x 192, 16x 256. It works out perfectly. And then the ZPM superconductor, it messes up all over again. so 4x is 96, 8x 192, 288. Yeah, the numbers. I wish they just did multiples of 64 every time, but you know, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. We can make these things work. So the logic of this might change a little bit when we move to LUV, energy hatches and dynamos, but yeah, it's okay. Wondering how the power doesn't overload the cables in the side of the Labotron thingy? The reason is because you never have more than 64 amps flowing through this cable. And the reason for that is because of the on-demand system that this version of GregTech uses. So it's never going to request more than 64 amps through this part of the cable. So that's why it's okay. That's why you can kind of do these shenanigans with the gauge of the wiring. And again, not all versions of GregTech work this way. So be careful. But in GTNH, this totally works. Yeah, on-demand system. So you could be really cheeky with this sometimes. Depending on your situation. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, right? Like I would never recommend Kat do this. And in fact, when Kat saw me doing it the other day, she got mad. She's like, I don't want to do that. I want to play it safe. And you know what? Good on her. Good on her. All right, so let's see if we have enough cabling to do this. Let's change this to 4x and then 8x. 16x. I don't think I needed to do that. Oh well. I should have ordered more while we were waiting around. Let's go ahead and do that. Another 512, something like that. The addiction. I know, Tempers. I know. I don't know what I'm doing back here. I started playing and then I was just like, why am I not streaming this? I should just get on stream. Yeah, the voice really recovered today. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I was feeling a little lightheaded earlier. It was a really bad episode we had yesterday, but overall we're doing pretty good. What's up, Mr. Nibbles? Heyo, heyo. How were the meetings? How was work? Hope all was well. We're kind of screwing around with power right now. Oh, that was weird. Was that one of those little TPS spikes? I'm not sure. It's like a little weird, like unresponsiveness. Okay. Got home at 6, had a 2-hour nap. Nice, nice. Hopefully you feel refreshed. Good to see you here. Kat is chilling, doing her own thing. I wanted to get a couple things done before we, you know, like, I mean, I know we're in LUV, but we're kind of like really officially headed to LUV tomorrow. Because we're going to make the LUV assembler. In fact, I think she already made it in the system. Yeah, it's right there. It's sitting in the system right now. Elite assembling machine. So we're going to play around with that tomorrow. That's going to open a whole bunch of possibilities. Yeah, Kat and I were kind of talking about that some. So I'm really excited to get into that. Can you not use 12x? You know what? That's a really good question. There might be some, like I might be able to use 12x right there. What is 12x? 144. We could use 12x right here. That is very true. Yeah. I guess if I'm short on this, well, I guess I am short, aren't I? Let's see. Let me clear out some of this garbage. There we go. Yeah, 3 hatches, but in this middle point, it's only 128 amps going through this. So 12x could actually technically work. Hold on a second. See, that's so weird. Like, hidden stuff kind of pins right here. I don't like that. So if you don't have all 4 of these open, stuff will still pin underneath there anyway. It's kind of weird. Not the end of the world, but... glad you're doing better. Thank you. Thank you, Tempers. Let's see. We can make a little... We can make a little 12x. We can do that. Hold on. There we go. No, that's 8x. Math. Quick maths. There we go. Is this thing on right now? No. Okay. When I say this is taking, I mean like the lighting spire. Are we getting power through here? And we're not. So I should be able to replace this. This is 144 once again. And if we're going to be cheeky, we might as well go all the way, right? Why not? Feeling extra cheeky today. Sounds weirder the more I say it. Okay, anyway. There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. All right, so we just need a little bit more, which we'll get in a second. Yeah, just waiting in the base IV and get... one thing I have on my list, I don't know if I'm going to get to this while streaming tonight. I didn't really plan on streaming for very long today, but we'll see what happens. Mega room. We need to design a mega room because we should have already had a mega vacuum freezer at this point in the game. Probably should have already had a mega blast furnace as well, quite honestly. And I'm thinking, I could either have it west or east. Now to show you where that is, like we're on this path right here, kind of toward the middle here. A lot of our processing and stuff is over here. I think I kind of want to just do like a space for yacht tanks over here and try not to overload these chunks too much. And so I'm kind of thinking of having megas over here on the left side. That way we can always expand the room horizontally underground more if we need to. That way we're not like stopped by anything going on over here. Have you looked at any of the designs people came up with the new multis? No, I mean, what new multis are we talking about, Tempers? Could do, yeah, so we could do 12x on the other side too, Valve. That's very true. In fact, we probably should do that. The Gregging Gregs. We are Gregging all the Gregs right now. What's up, Agelian? But yeah, I'm curious what you mean by that, Tempers. So I'm thinking that the megas are going to go, if I look at the minimap here, I'm thinking they're going to go this way, right? And I think we could go down a bit in the Y level region. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this out and then we're going to staircase down. I think that's the play. I need a, what's that thing called? A well, oh God, what is it called? Blowtorch. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I do love these, by the way. Very versatile. All right. And then maybe we go like 3 blocks in like this. And we start to go down. How far do we want to go down? We're breaking ground, chat. I've been kind of avoiding this for a while. We're just doing it. I do want to have a 5 tall basement, and I hate it when you get that effect with the bedrock, right? And it's a certain Y level. I think it's Y level 8. I think if you're like Y level 8 or higher, it's fine. Been years since I heard this song. That's a good song. Just had a breaky, about to have a crack at making antimatter. Oh my goodness. Do you have a plan for how to automate the antimatter? I'm curious what solutions are out there. I'm pretty sure I heard there's an open computer solution that works really well. When I did it in our Neo Tokyo world, it was this redstone solution that, what's his name? I forgot his name, came up with. And it didn't work through server restarts. And that really like was one of the things that killed my enjoyment for Neo Tokyo, very sadly. Doing SFM, yeah, that does sound like a good way to go. I think that vending machine idea is so cool. Chad, if you didn't see it, go look at the upcoming features. The vending machine for the coins. I think it just has a lot of charm to it, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's say we wanted to go to Y level 8. Is Y level 8 okay? I think it's Y level 7 you start getting the particle effects, no? Is it not Y level 7? Chat, who knows? Oh, I'm starting to see them at 6 for sure. Do you get them at 7 though? Y level 7. Is anybody seeing any? I don't think so. I'm gonna go with Y level 8 just to be safe. I really hate that effect. So we can have a basement here at Y level 8, and then we want the basement to be 5 tall, as always. Chat, I will be a proponent for 5 level basements till the day I die. All right, I'm gonna put that on my gravestone. So I think we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, and then this will be our actual floor level. So it's gonna be Y level 14. Y level 14 sounds good. Looking forward to having font customization. Yes, yes, dude. I cannot wait for that. That's such a that's the feature that you don't think is a big deal, but I think will actually like feel really good. No longer to have thousands of coins piled. Yep, exactly. And like, didn't it say that they were going to be requestable inside the AE2 system as well? Like the actual things that you can get out of it? Or did I read that wrong? Hopefully I didn't read that wrong, because I'm looking forward to that if so. So chat, I mean, this room's going to get pretty big. We're going to want to use World Edit here for sure. To figure out the, to carve it out. So that probably should be... Let's skip the song. I love that song though. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do our staircase about like that. That seems good. Yeah, so there's some kind of AE uplink. The coins go directly into it when you put the coins into the AE system. Oh, is that all the uplink does? I read it for some reason as like you'll be able to actually request coin outputs from this AE2 system, but maybe I'm wrong, because I'm not sure how like the cooldown on that would work. I think I just need to see it in action, like fully in action. I know they had a video or two, but it didn't quite show everything. I do want to try to keep up with the nightlies more, chat. I'm thinking about whenever I'm feeling the Greg itch like tonight, just to make sure I don't like do work that Cat misses out on or something like that. But if I'm like feeling some extra Greg, I'm thinking about like having a single player world that's just my place, where I like look at nightlies. And maybe we do like, if I'm ever feeling a little evening stream like this, maybe we actually go check that out. Maybe we have like a little world that we're working on the side. I do love early game GTNH as well. But I could see that being quite fun. So I don't know if you all would want to see that or not, but I think we could have a pretty good time doing that. And, kind of catch up on like what's being worked on. Because, I mean, it sounds like, I don't know how many people are going to be working on active development in GTNH these days, but I do like the new approach that Mr. Dream Master was talking about earlier in the dev announcements. Yeah, I feel like I've always just been too into like whatever world I've been doing at the time to check out the nightlies. But yeah, I definitely love to be way more in touch with those. That way we can actually talk about stuff on stream. I could be like way more informed than I have been in the past. I think that'd be pretty good. Chat, who loves a little Shadowbringers? FF14. Don't pretend like you don't. We know the truth. We know you all love it. Let's see. Oh, our superconductor's coming in, so we're gonna switch gears, go back to our wiring in just a second, but let me get this real quick. It's kind of like the whole wiggle the toe thing, chat. And by that I mean you feel like, let's say you're deep in depression and you can't get up out of your chair. You're so depressed you can't even stand up. You wiggle your toe first, then you wiggle your all your toes, then you wiggle your foot, then you wiggle your leg, and then before you know it, you're moving your whole body around, and then you try to take your first step and get out of the chair. And I feel like breaking ground like this is kind of like that. We just needed to wiggle our toes a little bit. And once we get this going, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna get into high gear, and we're gonna get the mega room done. It's gonna be great. I thought this was too old. No, I mean, I guess I could see that. Yeah, no, it's a little FF14. This song was such a banger, dude. Oh man, FF14 has lost a lot of its magic since the Shadowbringer and Walker days. I miss it. I hope they can come back. It looks like the new expansion's not coming out until like summer 2027 or something like that, which is, I don't know. I just feel like completely checking out of the game until closer to that time. That's a long time. I cannot believe how. Meanwhile, World of Warcraft, which came out with their like last expansion around the same time as FF14's Dawn Trail, like they came out around the same time, within a couple months each other. World of Warcraft's new expansions are already slated to come out probably in winter of 2026. Like a freaking over a year. It'll be over a year after WoW's new expansion comes out before FF14 comes out with their next expansion. Like that is wild, dude. I cannot believe they're going to take that long. And the reason we know that is because they announced their like little fan fest shows, or what I say little, I mean they're pretty big. But they're fan fest shows, and those are usually a good indicator of like when the new expansion is going to come out. And it usually comes out after their last Tokyo one, and that's not happening until March of 2027, which is alarming. I do worry about the health of the game when it's going to be that long. Very high chance 2.9 won't be compatible with 2.8. Why do you say that, Tempers? Do you mean like a bunch of multi-blocks are going to break? Like you update to 2.9, suddenly like half your base isn't going to be working? I wonder how deep they're going to go. Like how wide a brush are they going to paint with the multi-block changes? It does sound pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. Also, chat, this room is going to have to be pretty freaking tall, right? So we're going to have to go, like, this is 4 tall. The Mega Blast Furnace is like 20 tall, I think. Yeah, it's 20 tall. So I think we want this to be 21 tall. GTNH dev always, yeah, so if anybody didn't see, I'll pull it up real quick. If we go to the GTNH section and the dev announcements, it was right here. It was a couple days ago, October 3rd. And basically, I mean, they didn't say much about it, but for version 2.9, the topic of revising the multi-block structures is a good choice. So work has already begun on this. I've been working together with Vortex and Evgen Wargold. I made some suggestions on what the new multi-blocks could look like. Also prepared a competition in which players can suggest additional new multi-block structures. That's pretty cool. That's a good idea. Yeah. Should be announced shortly. So, I mean, I'm curious. I feel like there's a lot of possible outcomes of this, right? They let the old multi still work in one version. You can no longer craft it. Yeah, see, that would make more sense, Galleon. That would fall more in line with how they've treated things before, like the processing array, the large processing factory, things like that. Okay, so I think we want to take this. Sorry, real quick, chat. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we want to expand this 16, and then set air, and then yeah, let's clear all this out here. Get it out of here. There we go. I think that's going to be the height of our multi-room. Board miner show how that works. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh God. By the way, our path is in evens here. Oh no. I don't know how to undo this, chat. This is a 4 wide path. Oh no, what are we gonna do? We just have to roll with it. We just have to keep it going. Oh man, once you make a decision to go evens in one direction, it has so many ramifications. A really good example of that, by the way, was our our old base over here, when I was designing this structure on the outside, for some reason I made a too wide door. And this just like, this meant that we had a 4 wide path. And so then that was the case, like going all the way through here, all the way through the LV area. Now, that's not the end of the world, don't get me wrong. It's just kind of amazing, like how long you have to deal with evens all of a sudden. Once you make a single decision like that. Whereas just choosing odds all the time works out so much better. Captured a wither skeleton, put the soul vial, made a powered spawner with the EECs giving me drops as if it were normal skeleton. Isn't that just how the EEC deals with that? Or maybe I'm thinking of when you put, I know that when you put a powered spawner, like you do wither skeletons in a powered spawner, doesn't it just give you like normal skeletons in the nether? Don't you have to use like a powered, normal skeleton powered spawner in the nether, and then you sometimes get wither skeletons out of it? There's some weird stuff that goes on with the spawning of the wither skeletons with like the powered spawner from Ender.io. There's some weird stuff. I don't have enough experience to really know. Yeah, wither skeletons are the same mob. That's so weird. Diamivore says, "Hey Cat, loving the tutorials you're putting out. Thank you so much." You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, Cat is not with us this evening. She's normally streaming with us during the day, like 1 p.m. Eastern. But I'm just doing a bonus stream. This has been Drake. Well, I guess you've heard me probably with the tutorials more than anything else. But yeah, thank you. I'm very glad you enjoyed them. They've gotten really good reception overall. I'm very happy with like the public response to those tutorials. Very happy to help people out. You know, happy to gain traction as well. You know, but it's a good quick gateway to more people watching our stream, which Kat and I are very much for. So I'm sure that's obvious, but goes without saying. Let's get rid of all that stuff. And let's go back to power. I want to finish my cabling. We have all of our superconductor now. Let's see. I feel like they'll blow up even more as you make higher power tutorials. They're really high quality. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've learned a lot about video editing the past 3 months. Because I had no experience video editing before I started that. Just started messing with DaVinci Resolve video editor and learning more every time. But yeah, thank you for that. Putting EEC in Nether shouldn't change anything. It's not physically spawning the skeletons. Is that 100% true, Galleon? Because I know, you know, like I have to put what is the EEC that I have to put in the Nether to get the Nether shards? I don't know if this would apply to the wither skeleton thing, right? But these shards right here, like I have to only drops in Nether dimension. So I actually had to put the EEC for the zombie pigmen in the Nether dimension to get this drop. So you got Nether shards in the EEC in the overworld? Really? I don't remember if I tried or not. How the hell does the game expect you to get the wither bones for Stargate then? That's a really good question. Yeah, I feel like it's not intended to work that way, as y'all are saying, yeah. Very interesting. Chat, let me check one thing. 1 second. Okay, we should be good. I'm gonna change some music up here as well. I need something more chill. There we go. Get those shards. Oh, 2.5. Yeah, I mean, so much has changed. So I wouldn't be surprised if that changed. You can test right now? Yeah, go for it. Yeah. That'd be awesome. All right, there's our 16x. Is this? Yeah, we're draining right now, so that's fine. Let me get 3 of these. Try to make a 12x here. Or no, it was right here that we wanted a 12x. That's right. And actually, let's do that 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 3 12x cable, perfect. And yeah, we should be able to replace those like that. Is that connected? Dude, it's so hard to see some of these cables, especially the ZPM cable, chat. Who here has used the superconductor ZPM cable before? It's black. Like, even when you have a night vision on, it's so hard to see. Better to spray paint, probably. In fact, we might do that. All right. So superconductor, 16 amp. Like so. Actually, not even there. 1, 2, 3. Let's make another 12x, like so. And then I do need some 8x. It's not enough. 12x. We're doing this in groups of 3, chat, because these 16x are 192 amps if you're just joining us. So it's a little weird, but we're being cheeky. It's gonna work out fine. Okay, and then look that up. And there we go. Now we've got 64 amps times 9 traveling through here, which is fantastic. And I think I might stop there. Maybe we'll do another group of 3 a little bit later on. But this should be good for a while. So this is almost 40 ZPM amps, which is already putting us in really good shape for LuV-Age. And we're not even, we don't even have the LuV hatches yet. When we get the LuV hatches, we're going to be able to multiply this times 4, which is going to be amazing. Having dropped this nether only is not the same as it spawning different yeah, true. It just reminded me of that value. I wasn't saying definitively that it worked exactly the same way. Only that maybe that was something worth considering regarding it, but yeah, who knows. Let's see, let's just get our normal superconductor back. I got 446, that's plenty for later. That's good. Oh, and chat, if you're just joining, and you were here for my bitching about the lightning spire before, basically I was complaining about how we were wasting a bunch of molten iron and energy and stuff, and then I just realized, wait, just reduce the number of lightning rods in here. This is totally scalable. So we actually reduced this from 512 down to 52, which is giving us this number now, 101,000 per lightning rod. So times 52 gives about 5.281 million EU per tick, and that's about 40 amps of ZPM, which is about 640 amps of IV. And so we're doing almost 640 of the IV amps over here. And this is also something that, you know, I want to, like, we're only giving those local LSCs 192 amps of IV. We're definitely going to want to increase that throughput in the future, but yeah, this works for now. Just not scouting for ore veins in the nether, try to make an obsidian bridge to walk on by pouring out a bucket of creosote oil. Wait, what happens when you do that? I have no idea what happens. It's an interesting experiment. I can't even imagine like what actually does happen. Confusing and weird seeing all this setup. Again, this is not normal. This is totally not normal for this stage of the game necessarily. All the gauge changing, all this. Lightning Spire is a twist-based thing. I do have to clarify. So this is not in the vanilla version of GTNH. However, I mean, there are a lot of power principles that apply, and you will be using an LSC, which is like a big battery, basically. You'll be using this to input and extract power quite frequently in the game. The more you go on. So let's see. Where's our list? Lightning Spire output. I'm feeling much better about that now. And I'm thinking that we'll just, when we can, we'll change these outputs to LuV. Chat, if you weren't here earlier today, we did some EU P2P, GTEU P2Ps, and we're sending this to one to the temple, one to autocrafting. And so both of these are capable of receiving up to 192 amps of IV. And so if I go to autocrafting, so this is basically, we utilized our current backbone for power, but just disconnected it from our old main power spine. And so everything in auto crafting is now just getting it from this local LSC. And there's our P2P, providing the 192 amps into 364 amp IV energy hatches. And so this usually just stays topped off, right? So, and that should be the normal behavior. Normally it should just stay topped off if we're, you know, doing our throughput of energy correct, you know, and big enough. Yeah, late game is very confusing handling it the first time. It really is. And I think it's getting better as time goes on, but I mean, historically, there haven't been a ton of resources for, you know, how to do certain things in the end game / late game. But I think that's gotten better since I first started playing, for sure. So, mega room. Yeah, we could go back to the mega room. I'm going to switch gears before we go back and hollow out that room some more. And I do want to, what is that? Why is that being? Oh, that's my world edit. Oops. I'm back in MV watching an alien describe. I'm sorry, White Arrows. I know that's the problem. And that is always a concern when Kat and I get further in the ages, is I know this is like indecipherable to a lot of people. I do try to do my best to explain it sometimes, but yeah, it is a little wild. Things do get crazy. It's always a gradual slope up. So you're never completely like, the game's never completely knocking your socks off, like leaving you in complete confusion. It's always like a gradual step in that direction. Watch Nine's Power Guide, and that was confusing. I don't know if I watched that one. I need to go watch more of that content. Is the P2P loss the same no matter how you transport the power? So the loss in 64 amps is same as the loss on 16 LuV amps? Yeah, I think it's just 5%, and that applies to the raw EU number. That was always my understanding, Mr. Nibbles. There's like Touche getting the in-game has helped a lot with Doc. Yeah, do the Hamcorp videos. That's been awesome to see. Yeah, especially since those are like way more bite-sized. You know, it's not just like an uploaded stream. That kind of dude, I don't know how. Does somebody help Touche with editing or something? Because the rate that he like churns out content is pretty insane. Now I know he doesn't stream all the time, so that probably does help a little bit time-wise, but still, yeah, it is pretty crazy. The alien is good at explaining. Okay, good. Yes, we come in peace. Oh, I don't like this music either, chat. No, I mean, I do like Nier Automata, but not right now. How about this? There we go. He's been yeah. Well, he's been streaming a lot because of the new run, of course, right? So it's a little bit different right now. Always nice to find new ways of doing stuff. Find a new way to process something. Power gen, yeah. And Alf, that's like, I'm always learning new stuff, and then you go and do another run, and you do things differently or do things better, and every time, I won't go as far to say like, oh, it's like a whole new game, but I mean, it is a little bit like that, like unironically. How long do you take building versus actually making systems and stuff? We probably work on the systems more than building. You know, we're trying to keep up. It could be tough to keep up, especially later in the game when you need more and more space. At kind of like an exponential level, like the amount of space that you need. But if I had to put a percentage on it, probably like 30% building, 70% tinkering with stuff, right? Something like that. First game I ever played fully, Nier Automata. Did you play all the endings though? I only played ending A, and then I just like I started B, and then I was just like, oh, it's like the same game, but I have to play as the guy I don't like as much. I want, you know. I was just like, I think I'll just go look up these endings instead. So I looked up B3E. Probably not quite the same experience for me, unfortunately, but I just didn't have the patience for that. Now to avoid 2 million pork chop, 3 million slime balls. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, the end credit one. Yeah. I don't know if I want to spoil that, but yeah. That was probably pretty crazy at the time for people discovering that for the first time. That had to have been pretty wild. Okay. So, chat, let's talk about something. Let's switch gears up because I have a system that I want to put into place. Kat did approve of this earlier today. This is our main AE2 area. And then here we're kind of like walking toward right underneath the DoubleHelix. So we got this this whole staircase here. Goes way down. It's almost like a crazy Escher thing going on here. Not really, but you know. Oh, don't look at this. This was just like a prototype. This is not what we ended up going with. And let me know if other people have done this before, because I don't know if I've actually seen other people do this. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they did. It's not like I figured out some kind of rocket science or anything. But here's what I came up with. So the idea is that all these P2Ps on Pink Network, which is the subnet network, are wireless connectors that can carry the 32 channels to basically wherever we're working at any given time. So again, for those unfamiliar with like a P2P subnet and how that works, basically all these colors you see here are part of the same subnet. They're also that pink, technically. And each of these P2Ps has 32 channels on it. So we're connecting up to these P2Ps. And then the output is over here, right? And so it's just kind of an easy way. You know, we could take our quartz cutting knife. We can name these and such. It seems like a really easy way to deliver the 32 channels. Now that we can afford the wireless power for AE2, now we pretty much don't have to worry about that anymore. And yeah, it just simplifies things. A lot less cabling. We don't have to deal with running a subnet cable everywhere anymore. Should be really nice. Samson does that a lot in his worlds. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure I did not discover something for the first time, right? But well, once I realized you could do this, this makes a whole lot of sense. And I wish we had done this in Neo Tokyo, because this is going to be so much cleaner. So what we ended up doing, yeah, 5 channels connected to this. And I believe that's over at the temple somewhere. Yeah, it was like down here. Kat was messing with these electrolyzers. Yeah, so I just put the wireless hub. This is new in 2.8, by the way, chat. You can connect multiple wireless connectors to one hub, which is really cool. So here I was just demonstrating the concept. You can hook one up here for the same 32 channels, and then you got this right here as well. So I'm thinking of going in. I don't know how much I want to mess with this tonight. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I was thinking of like going in and just getting rid of a lot of this subnet P2P Pink network and just doing the wireless connector thing over there instead. I think this could be really good. This looks like something I need to watch. What's up, Cosmolot? How's it going? Normally we got Kat here along with me. But this is kind of like our off hours, not our normal hours that we do for streaming. So yeah, we're chilling. We're just kind of getting a couple things done in preparation for LUV, which we've already technically gotten to, but there's some stuff I like to get out of the way. We've desperately needed a mega room. So I really wanted to work on that. Let's see. Wireless hub. Let me make like, I don't know. In a lot of cases, we actually might not need this initially just to replace the current setups. So let me actually just get wireless connector like this. Kiss to bed, time for a couple hours of Prismarine line. Oh man, I'm very curious how that goes. I've heard that that is significantly more difficult than the netherite line. Now, obviously we haven't done netherite line yet. I'm also curious how this is going to go. So Kat and I are going to be working on this for the next week or two. Amongst other things, obviously. And then, I think it's Blade Master who was kind of like warning me about Prismarine line, but they're both annoying. More annoying than Platline? More annoying than Monazite line? Or is it like the same level of annoying? If we're going to use that term. It's at the end of ZPMs, quite the monkey wrench. So you update and then you had to deal with that. I could see that being annoying. Power cost, the only worry about it, sometimes having access to PSNet is a good thing at work location. Kind of up to your situation. And I feel like if you need access to the P2P, the only reason you need access to the P2P network in a location is for more channels, right? Like that's kind of the ultimate deal with it. So I figured we'll just bring a new wireless connector over, right? Or new wireless hub, right? What's up, Oscar? What madness does IC2 need me to go through For me to RNG roll a sugar beet crop for oxygen production, I am so sorry. Listen, I am never going to say that IC2 crops are the best part of this game. They are not. In fact, there was a crop rework being done, if you're not aware of that, that was supposed to make it to 2.8. Now, I don't know who, if anybody, is working on that at the moment, because I think it was Cobra who was working on it at the time. I don't know what he's up to these days. No pressure on him, obviously. I mean, he might not be doing GTNH stuff anymore for all I know. But, or maybe he is. I have no idea, chat. But, yeah, it did not make it. So, yeah, unfortunately, you're still stuck. Just, I don't even have any advice, really. I mean, sugar beets are like a relatively low tier crop, right? Tier 4. So I guess you're looking at like breeding some tier 3 things together, chat. Is that how the tiering works in IC2? Dude, I don't even know. All I know is I make this crop bot. I do what the wiki tells me to do, and then I go touch grass. And then out pops my seeds that I want. I'm a simple guy, okay? I can't be asked to breed and mutate. I already do that with bees, okay? I don't need to do that with crops too. Never got Blaze Reed. Oh no. Yeah, Blaze Reed's pretty good. Nether Star, you Matter Plant. Oh, you did get those though. That's pretty good. Massive field of sugarcane, it'll pop eventually. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's Swede. That's true. In fact, that's something that we might even move over to eventually. Because yeah, you could put Swede in a extreme industrial, what's the name of the thing? Greenhouse, EIG. You can put Swede in this thing, right, chat? Which makes it like way more scalable. So much easier to deal with. Yeah, exactly, again, yep. Greenhouse. Thank you, soldiers. Yeah, no problem, Oscar. Anytime, anytime. Obviously time for Oxygen B. Dude, Oxygen, Dataki, you know Oxygen B sucks. Don't play. Surely you know that. I mean, you could, but, you know, is not great. The other day I realized you can grow void seeds in the EIG. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. I mean, the way I get void seeds mainly is just, but the Crimson Knight in an EEC. That usually works pretty well. You've not gotten to Oxygen Bee yet? It's terrible. Don't do that. I mean, you need it to get to other bees, but yeah, don't do that. EIG makes some IC2 crops super obsolete, but yeah, but EIG is like really bad for a lot of IC2 crops. Like it doesn't, like, the production outputs are not good. Isn't that right, chat? I feel like we were talking about that earlier today. I think I tried an IC2 crop in there one time. I was just like, wait, this is all I'm getting? Really? Are we, as someone I know you would say that, are we dead ass? All right, let's get some ME controllers, because before I mess with that whole like wireless hub doohickey thing, we need to make some more P2Ps over here. We're actually pretty low on the number of empty P2Ps that we have on this face of the cube. Funnily enough, now I think we're going to end up freeing some up as well, but yeah, I kind of want to just go ahead and fix this. Go ahead and get another face on here, because we're not worried about power anymore when it comes to stuff like this. So let me get, yeah, let me get like 64 more P2Ps as well. And we're basically just going to duplicate what we did over here. Should be relatively simple. If I can remember how I did it. That is the question, right? I think I remember. You gonna make neutronium controllers? Yeah. I mean, that's quite a ways away. That's what, UV at the earliest, right? So quite far away, but we have like a bunch of dragon egg power that we can just divert to AE2, so not a problem. And it's not like we're having to send our wireless like, you know, all the way to Canada or something. We're just sending it a couple 100 meters, which ends up being like, I don't know, 1,000 EU per tick, worst case scenario in some places. So just plain sugarcane makes IC2 sugar beets look like chump change. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying, Cosmolot. Now, I never thought about putting just a normal sugarcane in an EIG. That makes sense. Hope I stop buffering on YouTube since Twitch is being nice. Yeah, Twitch can be like that sometimes. YouTube's actually where we've got the higher bitrate. Things, I mean, and that's Twitch's fault, by the way. If I could give Twitch more bitrate, I would. But you have to be partner to be able to do that. Maybe one day we'll get partner chat. That'd be pretty cool. I think I would be more excited about the bitrate than anything else. Let's see. Give me controller. Here we go. You guys can do it. Well, I mean, no big deal if we don't ever. Honestly, if we just grow more on YouTube, I'd be happy. But I love Twitch. Let's see. I think... Yeah, we also need some here. I should just build out the whole thing, quite honestly. Yeah, it's okay, though. Speaking of Twitch, we've got a couple ads coming. Hopefully you don't get caught by those, but if you do, we'll still be chilling here on the other side. So don't sweat it. Hopefully it won't last long. I think I have to... Hold on, chat. I need to pull up a little web page here real quick. I apologize. Give me 1 second. I don't trust myself. I need to look at this picture to help me out. Yeah, so I need to get rid of these, which is fine. We can just stick them right there instead. Because I need this to be a 3x3 square. Whoops. Nope. Don't do that. Hopefully we don't, like, depower our entire network trying to do this. Yeah, then we do two like this. Yep. And then... this, I think? Yeah. It's just like a checkerboard pattern, basically. And there we go. Perfect. We're going to need a bunch of... Well, we need our P2Ps, first of all. And then we're going to need a lot of covered cable. Let's go ahead and make more of that. And then dense boys as well. We're going to need some anchors. No ads is great. Nice. We love no ads. Thank you for the YouTube, Donna. Quality so much better over here at Cosmo. Yeah, no problem. I mean, listen, I don't want to divert anybody from Twitch. Like, that's definitely not what I'm going for, right? But, like I said, look, if Twitch would let me give them more quality, I'd be more than happy to, all right? I'm not out here to degrade the Twitch experience. They're doing that themselves. Let's see. Well, we do 5 like that. And then... I don't know why my stupid brain can never remember how I do this. Oh yeah, 3 like that. So that makes 8. So you want to try to get groups of 8 with this. As much as possible. So there we go. Like we got a little group of 8. And we can like color that whatever we want to color it. So... and I'm trying to remember... Yeah, I think we did something like that. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. We could go with actually the exact same colors we did previously. Yeah, why not? I think it could look really cool just having the same colors everywhere. Let's go with lime. So this is going to be lime here. Thank you. Just doesn't have the sound stuff and emotes. I know. Yeah. That is the unfortunate thing of Mixian. Yeah. But I do want to try to work more on YouTube. I think that, I think there's a way to do the 7TV emotes, and I think there's a way for us to get our own emotes over there now. I need to look into that. We both need to look into that. Then you have horrible timing. Care to elaborate? Hi, off-brand. Mr. J, what's up? Maybe someone can help me. I'm having issues setting the oil drilling rig. It's always saying incomplete. So I assume you mean like your first fluid drilling rig, this thing right here, right, Mr. J? First thing I would say is, you know, make sure you've got the 15 steel frames. You got the 3 tall solid steel machine casing there. What else? Maintenance hatch, energy hatch, output hatch, input bus. Those are kind of like the first things I'm thinking of. Oh, it's a stainless steel one? Okay, so this one right here. Yeah. Should be very straightforward. Input bus, you might need the input bus if you don't have it. Maybe that's required to complete the multi. I don't know for sure. Follow the NEI schematic. Yeah, it should be forming. There's got to be something that you're just overlooking because there's no real big trick to it. A bunch of YouTube emotes in general. You should need to set up your emotes in the settings. Yeah, we'll have to look at that. I don't know how long we've had access to that. You know, we have, with 1,000 subscribers, we did unlock a bunch of stuff recently. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so chat, we're going to do another group of 8 right here. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Mixian found some cats. Nice. Wanted to draw salt water from the moon. Had to give up on that. Never worked with or without input bus. I don't know. Chad, any other ideas for why the fluid drilling rig would not be working? That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but I've never really had a problem forming it before. So it's tough for me to think of what could be wrong. Oop, we do not want that to connect. This is where the anchors come in. Make sure our groups of 8 stay isolated. So like this. Paint that cable. And then I'll show you all how I use wireless to kind of make this look a lot neater. Let's see. Actually, how do I... Oh, that's right. We use the blue. That's right. Okay. Speaking of the blue, we can go ahead and set that up real quick. We'll do 3 there. Our fluid looks like this. Go ahead and grab the blue. Whoop. And I think we do the same thing on the other side. These 3 right here. There we go. Middle center of the drilling rig needs to be a functional block. Or not be a functional block. Right. So if you have your energy hatch there or something like that, then yeah, that might not work. Because the mining pipe has to come out of that middle block. That's why it has to be just a normal structural like casing. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you replaced with a non-functional 2. That didn't work either. Yeah. Chad, just kind of like a general warning. I do always say this. Be careful what the NEI preview tells you, because it'll do stupid stuff like this. Maintenance hatch on the bottom, and it does not need to go there. Right. So you always want to look at this visualization just as sort of like a general guideline of like, oh, this is how it's supposed to look in general. But when it comes to the individual hatches and stuff, those do not need to go in the places they're visualized in. And you can always look at this and it'll say like any base casing for energy hatch, maintenance hatch, etc. So press the H button. What does the H button do? That's my hollow glasses. Press the H button in this. I don't know what that means. Let's see. There's 3 on the top as well. Are there 3 on the bottom too? Oh yeah. Okay. Does this only hold 12 channels? No. Where are the other channels? Chad, I can't see my own contraption. Oh, there's more in there. That's right. But then there's 3 on each side. Okay. Yeah, we can go ahead and count for that. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, and I think we did have 8 in here. Yeah. Definitely recipes that don't consume the pearl. Hologram projector is sometimes outdated, bad info. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh. Yeah, I didn't know that existed. I never bothered clicking that. These. I don't know what those other buttons do. Yeah. Cool. Is that new? Okay. Yeah, I had no idea, chat. Oh yeah, it's 12 plus 8, so that's going to be 20 channels total on blue. So these in here, chat, these also end up being blue. I got a very specific controller design. I like this one a lot. I like the way this one ends up looking in the end. I know there's another one that a lot of people opt for, where it kind of like focuses on the four corners. Yeah, but I like this one a lot. And then spray paint these. And these. And then we just got a little bit more to go here. We got another 5. Another 3 there. Same thing down here. Hurts my brain. Well, I'll share you all the link. But this is the basic design that I go for. It's just like a slight modification of it, but it's basically the same thing. And this will get you more than enough channels. I think this does deliver over 10,000 channels from what I remember correctly. Just like way more than you need. Especially if you're subnetting properly in GTNH. With like your different lines and stuff like that. Plat line, things like that. Good thing there's a video out there that actually shows you how to properly subnet your plat line. Hey. All right. We need more P2Ps apparently. More than I thought. Grab another 64. What if you don't subnet? You probably still end up having enough channels with a design like this. Subnetting is nice because it just kind of siphons off individual lines into their own little separate network that isn't visible to the main network. Well, like if you use a lot of like fluid P2Ps and stuff like that, and that in your subnet, like for plat line, then you end up like looking at fluid P2Ps in your main network, and you don't see all those fluid P2Ps in your subnet as well. It was really nice. Just kind of helps clean up the mainnet a little bit as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it like helps with TPS in some way. Additionally. All right, is that going to be yellow as well? Yeah. Oh. We got to get some cable anchors first, though. Let's do that. There we go. Oop. Just like that. All right, and then we're missing one group of them. Was it the top ones? Yeah, it was the top ones, wasn't it? Okay. Another little group of 8 right here. 5 on the inside here, and then 3 on these edges. Easy. Yeah. Then we'll color that as well. And after that, we probably don't need to do this again for quite a long time. Although, I might take the time to just go ahead and fill it out. Just for the sake of it. I don't know. We'll see. Am I missing? What are these? Oh, is that lime as well? You know, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Missed this little group of 8 here. I need a cable anchor right here. Don't want those to connect. Also, would probably put P2Ps on those. Maybe. Just maybe. That's going to be lime. I think you mentioned, I remember advanced chemical construct not consuming the pearl. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, it does not consume your primordial pearl. Thankfully. Especially for the sake of twist, because you end up... you actually end up needing a ton of that block. No, it's not this one. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, you actually need so much of this for Industrial Alchemy Tower. And then the Industrial Magic Matrix requires 480 of them. Imagine if that required the Primordial Pearl. That would be 120 Primordial Pearls just for the Matrix. By the way, speaking of the Primordial Pearl chat, which you do get in like late Thaumcraft, you get it from going in one of these Eldritch portals, which you can make with the Eldritch Eyes there. But what I recommend doing, as soon as you get that Primordial Pearl, plant it in some Icy 2 crop sticks, put a World Accelerator next to it, get a, just like, you know, a crop manager or whatever to grab them and everything, and just set it and forget it. And there, look at that, we got another 11 already. And then once you get access to higher level World Accelerators, you're going to have a really easy time. By the time you get like an LUV one on this, you'll be getting like, if I remember correctly, like 6 or 7 pearls a day, just from one crop stick here. Yeah. Primordial Pearl in the crop sticks is absolutely what you want to do. Especially since some of the super late game Thaumcraft stuff requires like, there's like the giant Primordial Pearls or something. Yeah, these right here, extremely Primordial Pearl, which is, I think this is 8 Primordial Pearls arcane infused into one. And yeah, you need this for, I mean, do you need this stuff? No. Akashic Records is good. I forget what you do with this, chat. Get a lot of aspect points or something. This is probably isn't necessary, but it's a quest if you do want to complete it. What else do you use this for? Magical Memory. I don't know if I ever made that. Oh, but you do need that for Dyson now. Oh, interesting. Wait, really? Wait. Was this always this way, chat? Is this new? I don't remember Dyson I don't remember this requiring extreme, that it's not new. I guess I just had them. Yeah, if you want to make a ton of Dysons, this is a really good way of generating power around, ooh, what is it, like UHV, UEV era, something like that? UEV era. Can you do this in UEV? Nah, you got to get to UIV. But this is like a really good transition before you get either the antimatter or the Eye of Harmony power. Akashic Records is like creative item for research. Is it Thaumcraft research? Or is it just the aspect points? Because there's also the Tome of Knowledge, but I don't know if that's just what you use to share knowledge between players. I can't remember any of this garbage, chat. For the aspects. Oh, okay, right. Just the aspects. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Why do you need MV circuits for MV scanner? Oh yeah, it's like 4, isn't it? The scanners are pretty expensive. My question would be, why do you need an MV scanner? That would be my real question. I don't remember making anything past an LUV scanner or an LV scanner for a long time. Then eventually you do need an IV scanner for assembly line data sticks, but let's see. Oh, chat, I do need to remember, you don't want the P2P subnet to connect up to the back of this controller, so we need to make sure that we put cable anchors. Oh. Put cable anchors on the back, like so. And then we should be good shape. And each of these is going to be 8 P2Ps. So ZPM scanner and ZPM, yeah. Oh, hey, let's chill with the caps. Okay, off-brand. Appreciate it. By the time Dyson unlocked, I already had a trillion EU per tick, so I'm skipping Dyson. Yeah, a lot of people do skip Dyson. The Dyson does get a little bit tedious. I think the Matter Manipulator made Dyson spamming a lot more bearable in the, in the modern day, but it was quite a pain before. Let's see. This is going to be, yeah, magenta. Okay. It's so nice to just copy this, chat. I don't have to use my brain hole as much. Big fan of that. Also, okay, good. Gotta make sure I Actually, I don't think it matters if I color those cables or not, but And one more time. There we go. And then poke them out like so. And there we go. So that is all the P2Ps, chat. So now comes the really cool part. Because now all we have to do is hook them up with this dense cabling on the outside, hook up some wireless connectors, and then we are golden. Not like the song. Get that song out of my head, chat. Got that stupid song stuck. It's not a stupid song. It's a good song. But, oh, man. Am I going to have enough dense cable? Yeah, I think I am. All right. And then all of this is going to be blue. Blue is kind of the tough one in this configuration. You kind of have to wrap it all the way around, but it's not too bad. And then it shouldn't connect up to any of these other colors. We should be good. So now I can put a wireless connector right there. Color that blue. So we're good there. The next one that we place is right here. And this one's going to be lime. That should not connect up there. Perfect. And then we just do some dense cable like this. Something like that, yeah. I think that's right. Then we basically mirror that, right? This one's going to be yellow. And then we get the dense cable. And I think I put an extra one there just to make it symmetrical. You don't need that piece there. Unnecessary. And then the final one is going to be the magenta. And we're going to place the dense cable like that. Cover all 4 magenta pieces. And then that's it, chat. All we got to do, put 4 connectors. Gosh, I've kind of been sloppy about where we've been putting these connectors, haven't I? Do I have any ME controller? Yeah, we got a little bit. I kind of want to... I just need to build out this whole controller. It's only a 5x5. We'll order some more. Let's just get that done. But we just pop 4 wireless on like that. Sure. Why not? Select our different colors. You don't have to do the colors. You can connect 2 wireless up next to each other and they could be different colors. It actually doesn't matter. The colors are more for differentiating between each other on here. Avoid the scanner for now. Yeah, probably for the best unless you really, really need it. Nice AE setup. Yeah, thank you. This is kind of like a little cube design that I've refined a little bit over time. I like things symmetrical, right? I think many of us do. So it's kind of nice to just have it. And you get so many channels out of this too, which is amazing. Oh God, what is this bound to? This bound to green. Hope it's bound to green. It is. Okay, good. And then magenta. And then boom. We're done. And because, oh. What just happened over there? I wonder if, oh. Wait, the network is bridged. Wait, why is that happening? Uh-oh. Hold on. It happened when we connected magenta. Interesting. Okay, something's wrong with magenta. Yeah, we had a couple things power down, probably because of EU P2P. Let's go fix these real quick, and then we'll go figure out what's going on with magenta. Yeah, EU P2P. Now, thankfully, because we have those that's exactly why we have those localized LSCs, by the way. These right here, so that we have a like really big buffer in between where the EU P2P connects up. But we still got like a couple little things that, yeah, like circuit assembler and stuff here. That's still connected directly to EU P2P. And then we'll go to Jupiter Space Station. Planetary gas siphons are also hooked up directly. Not a big deal though. Left symmetry, always do specific odd numbers. Yeah. Yeah, even numbers in Minecraft are... I mean, there can be places where it's nice, but we were discussing this earlier, how I ended up doing even numbers right here on these walkways. And that's going to end up meaning that I'm going to have an even pathway when I come all the way down here and do our big mega room. It's going to be like a 4 or an 8 or 6 wide path. Just because of that one little decision that I made, right? So your decision to do even numbers really has like giant ramifications in your base, potentially. Some builds look good, rarely. It just depends. But yeah, I mean, it's just a big pain. Especially if you try to mix odd and even together. Kind of a nightmare. Oh, Wolfpack, thank you for the hydrate, by the way. And hello. We're just doing a little, adding a bunch of channels to our network. Doing the stuff that's less interesting for daytime stream. is like essentially what this is. But we're chilling. Hopefully y'all are enjoying your evening. Yeah, so I think this is getting bridged with main network somehow, and I don't know how. We do have a cable anchor there. We have one there. Yeah, it shouldn't be connecting up to main network anywhere, but clearly it is somewhere. There's our cable anchor there as well. And there. So it's not connecting up at any of those locations. Interesting. That would have been my first suspicion, right? Look, hook these back up. We have to find this before we can even connect that up. There's magenta right there. 3 or 5 for builds when it's numbers. Yeah. God. Chad, any ideas? I'm kind of at a loss here for why this is happening. Where would it bridge with the main network? This is our subnet cube. So the wireless is just going here to up there. Almost prefer the slow streams, easier to keep up with everything. I could definitely understand that, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of... I enjoy both. And from my point of view, anyway. Just doing different things. This doesn't make any sense. Going to be missing a P2P? What do you mean, Greg? Is it connecting to the energy cells in... the energy cells. It's an interesting thought. I don't think so, but... maybe. Also, what is that one connected to? Hold on. Oh. Okay. You know, it actually might have been connecting. I'm not sure. I'm just going to put a cable anchor there. Just in case. And honestly, like, these dense cells don't even need to go here. They can actually just go down here. Like, where we have the power. Mainly, anyway. Or should I have some on the main cube? I feel like I put them there for a reason. Missing a P2P line for cable to connect direct to the controller block. Yeah. I didn't see one, though. We'll check again. I see what you're saying now, Greg. Yeah. This is actually where we're mainly giving our network energy at this point. I feel like I should just put them down here. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe leave some up here as well. Yeah, that's fine. Let's take a look again. Oop. Wrong tool. Hey Panda, what's up? Welcome back. Maybe a power connector is a Fluix cable instead of quartz. That is possible. I can't imagine that would have happened here, but it's possible. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely... Oh, let me get my magnet back on. There's definitely 8 P2P in there, right? We're checking the insides of each one of these. There's definitely 8 P2P in there as well. And a cable anchor. We already checked the cable anchors. There are cable anchors everywhere. There's definitely 8 P2P in there as well. Yeah. About here. Oh, I can't see. Ah. Oh my gosh. Can't control my character. No, it looks like 8 in there as well, right? Wait, where? Oh, I see it. Oh my gosh. Yep. Yo, Greg coming in with the win over in YouTube. Yo, thank you. Yep. Yep, that was it. Made plenty of sense in retrospect. Yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness. Chad, that'll drive a man crazy. Bloody hell. All right. And then let's put our wireless connector back here. Nope. Right there. We're going to color that magenta, and then we're going to bind that to this right here. And no bridging of the network. Everything is good. Everything's golden. Chat for the win. Look at that. And so now, if we come down here, where we're kind of setting up our new wireless hub center. Yo, what's up, Antari? Yeah, thank you all again. No, good, not good job, Vin. Good job, Greg. Good job, Greg. So, if we take a look at this list now, there are way more empty spaces on here. Yeah, these are all the ones that we bound here so far. Yeah, there's way more empty spaces. So I'm feeling really good about that. We're on bind to input. I can basically come in here and bind all of these wireless connectors now. So we never have to worry about this again. So that one's bound. I think all 8 of these are bound. So I think we're good there. Now I just realized a problem. I think I need to name these because I'm going to mistake some of these as empty P2Ps if I don't rename them. Yo, Orange, what's up? What's up? How's it going? I was lurking in your stream for a couple minutes before I started and saw you were in your, I think your single player world, right? How's that going? I know you're all having problems on the main run. Hope that continues to get sorted out. I know that's frustrating. But yo, thank you very much. And by the way, chat, if you're not following Orange Creamsicle, be sure to follow. He and Value are getting very close to Twist Token in their current world. And then we're actually going to play on a server together with some other people pretty soon. It'll be a lot of fun. Main run killed me emotionally. I feel that. I mean, for different reasons, but I felt that way on our Neo Tokyo run a little bit. So no, I definitely feel that. Real quick. Now, the way we have to do this, and yo, thank you all for the follows. DJT, Zeracron, thank you. Good to have you all. Normally I've got my wife Kat with me, if you're not familiar with our stream, but we're doing a little bonus stream tonight. We're chilling. She's off doing her own thing. We'll be back tomorrow around like 12 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, each one of these I want to immediately connect. And there you can see it's grabbing a main network, P2P, that little blue up there. Yeah, if you're just joining, we're basically setting up a wireless hub because we can afford the wireless now and we can really clean things up in the base. It's going to be really nice. I'll tell you what, for ease, I'm going to switch this to number 3. Same as my advanced memory card. And yeah, we're just going to bind up each one of these, bind to input, place one down, bind to input, etc. So much GTNH content lately? Hell yeah. Yeah. You know what? New updates definitely help. There's usually more content around that time. But yeah, I've seen more interest from people over the past couple weeks. It's been nice. It's been nice to see some familiar faces come back, some old faces, some new faces as well. Always a fun time. So yeah, let's bind all these. There we go. Should be good. But yeah, that is one thing I need to be careful about. Like I was saying earlier, chat, we need to name all these. Even if it's just like some dummy name or something. Like, I mean, we could literally start counting down, 1 or something. 2, 3, anything but P2P tunnel ME, because we're going to mistake that for a main network empty P2P when it's actually one of these P2Ps that's like already bound. Don't want to do that. But yeah, we'll just continue with this in the future. Gonna have to go. Good night. Yo, Off Brand, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Do empty 0. Oh, that's too many buttons. Oh, too many buttons. No, we have to keep it like caveman style over here, okay? Something my late night brain can just, tolerate. I can count up. I can definitely count up. And then, yeah, I guess the moment we bind these is when we should go ahead and name them. So we got 16 more of these to go, chat. It shouldn't take long at all. 18. Hopefully I can continue to count up and not make a mistake. And interact with chat at the same time. Imagine. I played Greg Tech a year ago, could never get into it, so now I'm getting into it for the challenge, the other mod packs. It's, once it gets its hooks in you, I gotta say, because Kat and I did try GTNH one time, and we only got to HV, and then we didn't touch it for like 2 years, something like that. And then we gave it one more try, and it just sunk its teeth into us, right? And, here we are. IP addresses. Yo, that's totally, in fact, that might be a more logical way, right? But this is simple for my brain. This is all that matters at the end of the day. And then 24, whoops, got to bind it first. There we go. Beautiful. And then one more, and then this should serve us for quite a while. And like I said, we can go ahead and like start cleaning up some of the cabling in the base, binding some of these if we want to. I mean, there's no rush either, but at least like all of our future main network connections can be done this way, which would be nice. Oop, forgot to bind that one. Here we go. Let me just finish this up real quick, chat, so focus here. Don't make any more mistakes. Got one more to go. I can catch up with y'all. 29. Yeah. And then 30. Then bind 31. And then 32. Beautiful. Look at all that main network. 32 times 32. Anybody, I don't know what that comes out to. Probably 1,000, close to 1,000. 1,020. Thanks, Rexy. Anyone help Thermo? 1? This is my only hope. Wait, what are we talking about? Try to play Greg Tech. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Just makes sense to me because that's why I do in real world machine networking stuff. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, for sure, for sure. What we can do is we can quartz cutting knife name these. So if we're ever over here and we're kind of confused, like what is this going to? I think that'd be really nice to do that. But yeah, I'm happy to have all these done. And that way, because I was explaining to Kat how this works, where you just bind this wireless connector to wherever you need 32 channels on the opposite end. And I think that's going to be a lot easier for her to use now that all 32 of these are hooked up. So I'm feeling really good about that. Thermodynamics, I mean, you know, I did very limited amount of thermodynamics and just like, you know, the furthest I ever went was like AP physics or something, right? And I don't know, and I never enjoyed it that much, but that was just me. 64 times 64, 4096. So 32 times 32 is 4x less. Well, that makes sense. Also, yeah, Thamis Shelvin. Yo, the 5th. Thank you for the follow. What's up? What's up? Also, I have another midterm tomorrow. Ooh, best of luck on that. Yeah, best of luck. Well, it seems like a weird time to have a midterm. For my American brain, anyway. Oh, no, you know what? Actually, yeah, October 7th. No, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, best of luck on that. Yeah, chat, I think we are done with all the wireless stuff. And the AE2 stuff. That's really awesome. I'm very happy about that. Let's go and, you know what, just for the sake of it, let's go replace one of these with wireless. The tunnel is, or not the tunnel, the temple is kind of, well, I don't know. I was going to say it's kind of a shit show in here, but not really. I mean, actually, with the exception of this pink wiring here, I hate having this subnet cable go down like this. That really bothered me when Cat did that. No offense to her. She didn't do anything wrong. I would like to clean this up a little bit, maybe. Also, it looks like we could condense these into like one. There's 15 channels over there, 15 channels over here. Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna indulge myself. Let's do 2 of these, right? So what I'm gonna do is come over here like this, and then we'll do this one as well, right? And we'll bind this. Oh, you know what? I should make a home point that's closer. Yeah, that's fine though. And we'll call this like Temple 2. Temple 2, right? We'll call this one Temple 3. And we'll go ahead and bind this one as well. And so yeah, each one of these is 1,000 EU per tick. So I would definitely not recommend doing this unless you have plenty of power for your AE2 network. We're really not struggling here anymore. Although I do need to make one change to our power providing for AE2. We'll do that in a second. Poor Cat, the wiring is set. No. It doesn't look bad at all. It's just the way my brain works. Yeah, I was trying to clarify. Like, she didn't do anything wrong, for sure. Let's see, was it up here? Yeah, it was up here. And then we'll bind to this one right here. Yeah. And then we'll get a dense boy. Real quick. Like that. And we will spray paint color that. And then we can actually get rid of this. So we don't need that P2P connection anymore. We actually don't need this P2P connection anymore either. Which means that the pretty cabling, I know. Don't hate, Tataki. Don't hate. Hope a miracle comes your way. I like to think it's common sense hasn't failed me yet. I don't know. Common sense, not so common, right? I don't know about that one. Rip pink cable. We'll still have pink cable in places, but yeah. I mean, chat, that's a lot cleaner. You can't deny it, right? Oh yeah, so we don't need that anymore either. Yeah. That's 3 P2Ps that we just condensed into 2. And yeah, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Get them back. Beautiful. So much cleaner, chat. Look at that. Amazing. The entire base blew up. That would be pretty unfortunate. Cat would never let me if I make an explosion before Cat does in this base, Cat's never going to let me live it down. Now, to be fair, she did one explosion. Just one. And that was the EBF. And the reason, electric blast furnace, was exactly for this reason that I told you I'd be careful about the multi-block structure visualization, because she saw ULV energy hatch and she thought, oh, that's what I need to do. But then she was thinking about the power delivery from like the steam turbines in terms of LV, and not putting 2 and 2 together that ULV energy hatch was going to get overloaded by LV energy. The freaking ULV hatch down here, man. Yeah. That was the only time. You know, since then she's been doing all this transforming of power. Like, she's been killing it, right? So, cat logged back to the server, colored all the cables pink. Listen, if she wants like main network pink, she can go ahead and do it. That's fine with me. I did find it funny, and chat, we pointed this out at the very beginning of stream today, that I started putting these jacaranda trees, because they were kind of native to the area anyway. And then the cherry blossoms, because of course Cat loves her cherry blossoms, when I was doing this new build. And then we realized something after the fact, that main network color purple, subnet color pink. So it's really kind of meant to be that, and I think these trees look great with the white block palette. Right, so, and plus we're using jacaranda wood in the actual build as well, like this. So I think it's going to work out fantastic. So I think we'll continue with this trend. We'll throw in other trees occasionally. Like, I mean, I even just threw a oak tree here in the back just to shake things up. A little firefly. But yeah. But that's just one example. So, you know, we're already using 3 off this wireless hub. And you can kind of tell, yeah, they're kind of lit up. You can kind of tell what's used and what isn't. So, pretty easy to tell. So I think we should have a really good time with this. If you're ever looking for a wireless way to do this, again, I didn't discover anything like new, but you know, I did come up with this on my own. Apparently Sam's, probably a bunch of other people are using this way, but yeah, just having your subnet, putting the P2P on a wireless connector. And if you can afford the wireless, just go ahead and do things this way. So much quicker, or so much cleaner, right? Than having to run 2 different types of colored ME cable around your base. Cat just goes in, flies, turns the whole world pink. Yeah, she would. She would. Don't tempt her. Okay. Pink is your subnet? Yeah, pink is the subnet. Yeah. Those were Cat's colors that she chose. Not mine. Not that I hate them. They're fine. They're fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of cyan. Cyan's one of my favorite colors in this game. So I did get a little bit of the cyan and the blue in here. I love those 2 colors next to each other. Yeah, we did sneak that one in just a little bit. And these are just to make sure that these wireless connectors don't connect with each other. That's kind of the only reason for the different colorings there. I know what you got going on there then. Greg, yes, Thomas, we are indeed Gregging. How goes it? Good to see. Good, dude. Very good to see. You know, YouTube chat's been more lively these days. Very good to have y'all. We love our Twitch people as well. Kat and I are, you know, our home base is kind of Twitch, but been trying to invest more in YouTube. So it's very good to have y'all. And we're super chilling tonight. In fact, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on, but we'll see what happens. There is one other big thing that I did want to work on just a little bit more. It's a little bit less, you know, technically oriented. And that is, here's our power area. And we had 2 doorways, one going to the west, then one going to the east. I think I want to use the east. I'll have to run this by Kat, see what she thinks. I think I want to use the east for yacht tanks. If you've never seen a yacht tank before, it's like a way of storing a lot of one specific fluid. And these are upgradable, so that's got all these different tiered casings for different capacities. And yo, Antari, thank you for the follow. What's up? But yeah, they basically look like this, chat. They're like 5x5s. 5x5x5 cube with a little 3 at the bottom right there. And yeah, these can hold a ton of fluid, which is really nice for things that you can just potentially continue pumping endlessly, like hydrogen. It's a really good example. We've got the planetary gas siphons on the Jupiter space station. So having a yacht tank for hydrogen is going to be really nice. And these do take up quite a bit of room the more you put in. So it's going to be kind of nice to have like a, you know, like a really tall room where on the left and the right sides, we can have multiple levels, like Y levels of yacht tanks, like 3 or 4 different levels of them. I think that'll end up looking really cool. Now the yacht tanks are quite expensive. So if I look up like, what is the kind of the one you gravitate toward? Probably the tier 4 So this holds 1 trillion liters, which is really good. But it's pretty expensive. 8 LUV pumps. And I think the most expensive part is this right here, the fluid storage core, which these, it's just a lot. That's a lot of tungsten steel. That's a lot of quantum tanks. It's a big investment. I mean, multiply this times 10, right? And that's just for 1 yacht tank. So it gets pretty crazy. Neutronium railcraft day. Yeah, you could. And yes, this is 2.8. Yeah. So we did upgrade like the day after it came out, basically. Had a really good experience in 2.8 overall. There've been a couple little hiccups. We're having some little TPS spikes. But the average TPS is fine. So, you know, overall we're doing pretty well. Then y'all popular. We were not popular now. Stop that. It's been nice to have more eyeballs, like especially from YouTube, but no. TikTok do a reach. No, it's called Vindrake actually like buckled down and did some work and made some tutorials and tried to grow the YouTube channel instead of just coasting on it while basically having stagnant growth for like the past year. But it was fine because like, you know, we just enjoyed it. Like it's just a hobby. Like we really enjoyed it. But then I don't know, just eventually we're just like, hey, time to buckle down and like, you know, try to expand your reach. Like, why not? Don't forget to check the power fails from messing with the ME controller. I think we got everything already, Rexy. I think it was just 3 things. Funnily enough, again, because most of the time we, since we made these changes today, most of our EU P2P stuff is going into LSCs that are local. So there's like a nice big buffer in between. So yeah, thankfully that outage didn't like ruin everything. Just ruined a couple crafts. I think the circuit assembler was one of those. So I think, yeah, these stopped crafting, but that's okay. That's fine. Just the ME controllers. Must have missed it then. Yeah, it was just like 3 machines. Not too bad. Still a lot of room. Oh yeah, no, I've already got a list. Chat, I could tell you the list. Like different videos that we're thinking about. Where is that list? Here it is. So we did the LV tutorial recently, the comprehensive LV tutorial. I had like 45 minutes of footage I had to cut out. I had like a whole bonus round of a bunch of things to show at the end that were going to be useful. And dude, I had to keep it under an hour. That video was like 59 minutes after editing. So I might do a bonus LV video where it's just like, hey, these are the things that, you know, we missed that, you know, you might find really useful for LV, etc. Ore processing video isn't definitely going to be in the works. I want to do an AE2 beginner's guide all the way to fluids. I think that would be really good. And 1 second, chat. I want to figure out, I want to think real quick about what kind of depth I want to have on the left and right of this room. This is going to be a room for our megas. So immediately what comes to mind is like the Mega Blast furnace, right? So this is a 15 by 15. We already have the height figured out, a 21 Y level height. But I think we need to go with like a depth of 15, but then I think I want like, I don't want the room to be too claustrophobic. So I think we need like an additional, we want at least 1 space between it and the wall. And then, so that would be 16. And then I think we want an additional 3 in between the pathing and the actual thing. And I think I want this to be a 6 wide path as well. We want this to kind of be a grand room. So I'm thinking 15 plus 1 plus 3, which would be 19 plus an additional 1. So I think we want this to be 20. So we're going to expand 19 here. And then we're going to set air because I think it's not, I don't think we're breaking anything important with this. No, I think we're good. Oh yeah, world at 100%. I have always been the kind of person with like Minecraft mod packs and stuff where I've never wanted to creative cheat anything. I've never wanted to like, you know, I wanted all the building to be legit, quote unquote. But GTNH is too big. It's just way too big, especially later in the game. So I did embrace the world edit eventually. I saw the light. Courtesy of Adidia. He showed me the way. And you know what? We've never looked back since. And there we go. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Yeah, I think that's about the right size too. So we'll have a like a 6 wide path. We just put like some random block here, like concrete, something like that. And then, oh, you know what? Maybe we'll revisit this block. I really like this fellstone. We use this a lot in Neo Tokyo. I really like this one. Maybe we give this room a little bit of color as well. So maybe we go like with 113914. This block is nice because it has it's not like a perfectly smooth block. It has a little bit of like, almost like a sandy variation to it. It's just like a little bit grainy. I think it makes really nice flooring. So it's like smooth at a distance. You get up next to it, it kind of has a little bit of a graininess to it. I really like this one. I ended up using the 12 a lot, I think. The 12 and the 13. They're like very, they have like a slight amount of blue in them, but they're like almost like color neutral blocks. I think they work very well in a lot of situations. There are wands that do this. Yeah, there is a wand of equal exchange. So if you had the blocks in your inventory, you could do that this way. This is just, especially for like carving out an area, this just is nice. And if you're thinking like, oh, this is cheaty, I mean, I can definitely understand where you're coming from because I felt the same way about a lot of my packs in the past. But consider the fact that for the Stargate role in the GTNH Discord official, I don't think those rules are the be all end all, like, you know, but I do think that they make an interesting guidepost. And the fact that world edit is allowed and you can still get Stargate role, I think that's telling. All right, I think people have considered that over time and realized world edit's really going to help you, like, actually get through a whole GTNH run. Stargate run invalidate. Yeah, official allows world edit. Exactly, Thomas. Yep. I'll build with world edit, but not for something like this where I gain benefit of meteor blocks. Yeah, and everybody play at your own pace. You know what I mean? Like your own standards of play, etc. You know, Threefold put out a video about his return to GTNH, and he was kind of talking about that a little bit. It's like, hey, make yourself your rules like early on and stick to those rules. And you know, you play the way you want to play at the end of the day. You're thinking, oh, this is cheaty, keep it to yourself and just don't do it in your own world. Yeah. No, we're not judging anybody here, right? Yeah, Schematica is I did actually used to use Schematica quite a bit. Back in the day. Actually, we didn't use world edit in all of Neo Tokyo the first like couple of ages up through HVH. We did all legit. And that was that took a lot of time. I will definitely say. Took a whole lot of time. Hey, Azuna, what's up? What's happening? Good to see you again today. Hope you're chilling this evening. Hope you're having a good one. Basalt brick. We'll just go with this for now. 3759.4. I'll come in and, you know, we'll decorate this room a lot more in the future. I just want to get something going here. 3759.4. It all went downhill after Vin was placed in the Zenitentiary. In the Zenitentiary, the problem was I did world edit, build that in a creative world, and then I was like, okay, time to, or no, I think I did it in the actual world. And then I was like, okay, time to make a schematic and then time to tear it all down so I can build it legit. And I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing this? So it was at the time we opted to go, Tempers. I forget that you were around, back in those days. I don't know why I forget that. Doing some chill IC2 crop breeding. Dude, we were just talking about IC2 crop breeding earlier, and why would you ever do that? I'm very sorry. Very sorry. Threefold has always been an amazing video editor. Oh my gosh, dude. Godlike editing skills. Like, insane. You know, I'm such a musical person, right, chat? And so all the like musical montages where he would like, you know, line things up perfectly, what was going in the music, and often like really creative ways too. That I think that's what got me to being a, you know, the Threefold fanboy that I know many of us are, right? That's how it happens. Building a loot game? No. We're just trying to make a presentable square right now. At least we could fit like a mega blast furnace and a mega vacuum freezer in here now, right? I do need to make a basement for this as well. And I think I'm just going to set this as a concrete for the ceiling now. This is all subject to change. I just like having something mildly presentable. And we'll fix the staircase later. Not a big deal. But you know, before we head out today, let's make a little bit of a basement here. As one Minecrafter I know would say, a basement. And we make it 5 tall. As one does, as one should do, always. You heard it here first. I'm gonna be like Direwolf with the 9x9s, except I'm gonna be like Vindrake, the 5 tall basements. All right, mark my words. You can write that one down. You can clip that one, chat. All right, just get a little wall situation going on down here. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. It's that or waste time setting up an actual UU matter. Oh, that's why you're doing it, right? Yeah. Yep. Oh, that sucks. UU matter until you get that multi-block for making it, which I think is like a UV thing or something. It's such a big pain in the butt. I try to avoid it whenever possible. And yeah, we'll set this as just like concrete as well. That should be good. And then there we go, chat. We're set for success here. I think the only thing that we need to consider is like, do I want to bother running power cable all the way from those LSCs down here? The problem is if you want to send a lot of amperage, which I mean, we're going to want a 64 amp energy hatch on both the vacuum freezer and the MBF initially. And this is before lasers even. Lasers are going to kind of change things again, where maybe we're not using EU P2P as much. It's kind of like a transitionary thing that we're doing at the moment. But yeah, I think I just want to use EU P2P to like a localized LSC over there as well. I think that's going to be our go-to method for LUV, part of ZPM. Then we move over to lasers, and then, yeah, then we kind of utilize those hallways that we've made again, all over again. 5 tall? Yeah, 5 tall. Exactly. Stardust, thank you for the follow. You were following, weren't you? Why are you not follow? That's a great question. You've been around for a good bit. Yo, thank you for the follow. Bigger question, how have you found us consistently? I guess you're clicking on Discord. Anyway. But yeah, so we will end up kind of phasing this out as lasers become more prominent in the future. But yeah, it's kind of like transitionary measures. I'm feeling pretty good about our power right now. Again, we're probably running, how many amps of IV? Like 640 minus 80. So like 560 amps of IV. I think that's pretty good. I think we're doing pretty good here. Yeah, LUV is tier 6. Albal, yeah. Albal. Something like that. Yeah, so, and we just got here. So, the plan tomorrow, chat, is to make the LUV assembler, which is going to unlock a whole bunch of things, including making LUV superconductor, which once again unlocks a whole bunch of things, including fusion, actually. I don't know how quickly we're going to go for fusion. LUV assembler also allows us to make a couple of interesting things. There is the dragon egg thing, the tower of abstraction from Twist. We need an LUV assembler in order to make this. But yeah, I wanted to make these 32 tall. So each one would house 512 dragon eggs. There's no real need for us to make this technically with the lightning spire giving us what it does. But I had already designed this room for it. And so we're going to do it. All right. 2 tower of abstractions there. We'll build out some XL gas turbines just because we have the space for it, unless I think of something else to put here. But I do want to finish out our power room. And, oh, yeah, the one other thing, I think I'm going to do this off stream, but the one other thing I wanted to do is I think I wanted to hook up our AE2 power mainly to these dragon eggs. Now that these dragon eggs aren't being used for much anymore, like most of this power spine right here is no longer in use at all. We do have a couple of P2P EU over here. But yeah, this is mostly not being used. Let me see. I mean, it's still outputting like 100,000 EU. It's going somewhere. I think it's going to the industrial apiaries, largely. Rip Dragon Egg Split. No, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so I think we're going to call it there. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to YouTube, and then we're going to go raid somebody on Twitch. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Good to have you all. Didn't expect this many people on YouTube chatting, so appreciate having you all. We will catch you all later. Have a good one.